The first 10 seconds after you start crying, what happens inside you in real time? The moment a tear forms in your eye, your entire body enters a rapid emotional shutdown and protection mode that begins faster than a heartbeat. Crying is not just sadness leaking out, it is an emergency biological response triggered deep inside your brain. In the first 10 seconds, your amygdala, the brain's emotional alarm center, fires intensely, signaling that something has crossed your internal threshold of pain, stress, loss, fear, or overwhelming emotion. This alarm sends a shockwave through your nervous system, activating the hypothalamus, the tiny command center that controls your hormones. Instantly, it sends instructions to your tear glands, your heart, your lungs, your gut, and your skin. Your tear glands begin filling with warm, salty fluid made of water, oils, antibodies, and even natural painkillers. At the same time, your throat tightens, creating that familiar lump called globus sensation caused by emotional nerve overload. Your heartbeat increases, then suddenly slows as your body switches from fight mode to release mode. Your breathing becomes irregular, short, fast breaths, followed by deep, shaky ones because your nervous system is trying to calm your brain by increasing oxygen. Inside your brain, neurotransmitters react like a storm. Stress chemicals like adrenaline and cortisol spike sharply, and this triggers your body to flush them out. One reason tears exist: crying is literally your body trying to detox emotional pain from your bloodstream. Meanwhile, serotonin, dopamine, and oxytocin begin rising in small waves to soften the emotional blow, like internal hands trying to pull you back from drowning. Behind your eyes, tear glands expand, fill, and burst tear after tear as electrical signals repeatedly hit them from the brainstem. Your face warms, blood vessels open, and your skin reddens because emotional crying dilates facial capillaries. Your lungs begin pulling deeper breaths to stabilize your heartbeat, but the imbalance creates the trembling inhale that people call sobbing. Every part of your body, heart, lungs, nerves, hormones, muscles switches to emotional release mode, and the most powerful part? Your body is trying to save you. Crying in these first seconds is not weakness. It is biology trying to stop your brain from emotional overload. It is your nervous system releasing pressure. It is your heart trying to protect itself. It is your mind trying to prevent breakdown. In just 10 seconds, tears become a survival mechanism designed to heal, balance, and reset you long before you even understand why you're crying. The first 60 seconds of crying, how your body begins, emotional release and internal reset. As the first full minute of crying unfolds, your entire body enters a powerful emotional release cycle that is both destructive and healing at the same time. Inside your brain, the amygdala's alarm continues firing. But now, your prefrontal cortex, the thinking part of your brain, begins struggling to regain control, trying to understand and interpret the emotional wave that triggered the tears. This internal tug-of-war is why your thoughts feel scattered, why memories resurface, and why emotions intensify before they calm. Your hypothalamus now sends broader hormonal instructions, causing your adrenal glands to shift from a stress spike to a gradual come-down. Cortisol, the stress hormone, is still elevated, but your tears now begin carrying molecules that help flush excess cortisol out of your system through the tear ducts. This is not poetry, it's biology. Emotional tears are chemically different from dust or irritant tears because they contain stress hormones your body is trying to get rid of. Your breathing becomes deeper and heavier as your parasympathetic nervous system, the system responsible for rest and calm, slowly starts pushing back against the panic signals. That trembling inhale, the sudden gasp, the shaking chest, these are not signs of losing control. They are your lungs forcing oxygen into your bloodstream to soothe your overstimulated mind. Your heart rhythm becomes chaotic for a moment, beating fast, then slowing, then speeding up again as your body tries to find emotional balance. Blood vessels in your face widen, causing warmth, puffiness, and the redness around your nose and eyes. This is an embarrassment. It's increased blood flow meant to cool your brain and stabilize your emotional centers. Inside your brain, neurotransmitters shift dramatically. Serotonin rises to prevent emotional collapse. Oxytocin increases to create a sense of comfort and connection, even if you are alone. Endorphins, the body's natural painkillers, begin releasing in small amounts, soothing emotional and physical pain. This chemical blend is why many people feel relief after crying. It's not psychological, it's chemical. Meanwhile, your throat muscles tighten and loosen rhythmically as your vagus nerve responds to emotional overload. This is why your voice shakes and why talking becomes difficult. Your stomach may feel heavy or nauseous because crying temporarily shuts down digestion, redirecting energy to emotional processing. At the same time, your tear glands work like overactive fountains, producing tears rapidly to release emotional toxins. Your sinuses fill because tear drainage increases sharply through the nasal cavity, causing that runny nose everyone gets while crying. Your muscles, especially around your shoulders, jaw, and chest, begin softening as your body prepares to shift from emotional tension to emotional release. In just 60 seconds, crying transforms from an emotional reaction into a whole-body therapeutic process. Your brain, heart, lungs, hormones, nerves, and muscles are all actively working together to protect you, lower stress, and push you toward emotional recovery. This first minute isn't just you breaking down, it's your body fighting for your mental survival. The first 5 minutes of crying when your body enters deep emotional healing mode. As the first 5 minutes of crying unfold, your body transitions from emotional shock into a deep, powerful healing response that very few people understand. During this stage, your brain begins rewiring itself in real time. The amygdala, which triggered the emotional alarm, slowly reduces its intensity, and the prefrontal cortex finally starts taking back control. This mental shift is why, after a few minutes, your thoughts become clearer, and the emotional wave that felt overwhelming begins to soften. Inside your brain, the chemical storm transforms into a chemical cleanse. Cortisol levels start declining because your tears are actively carrying stress molecules out of your bloodstream. Meanwhile, oxytocin and endorphins, nature's built-in emotional painkillers, rise sharply, creating a protective emotional blanket around your mind. These chemicals reduce fear, soothe emotional injury, and create a feeling of warmth and safety, even if no one is with you. Your breathing becomes slower and deeper as the parasympathetic nervous system fully activates. This part of your nervous system is responsible for calmness and recovery. Your lungs draw in long, shaky breaths that regulate your heart rate and stabilize your oxygen levels. Your heart, which was racing earlier, now begins to find rhythm again. Blood pressure decreases, blood vessels relax, and the tightness in your chest starts to lift. This is your body physically stepping out of the stress state. Your vagus nerve, one of the most important nerves in the body, becomes highly active during this phase. It runs from your brain through your heart, lungs, and gut. And when you cry deeply, the vagus nerve sends strong, calming signals throughout your entire system. This is why the heaviness in your stomach eases and the shaking in your hands slowly fades. Your face begins showing the classic signs of emotional release: puffy eyes, warm skin, a runny nose. These aren't signs of weakness, they're evidence that your body is offloading emotional pressure through physical pathways. Tear production stabilizes but continues steadily, keeping stress hormones flowing out. Your muscles, which tighten during the emotional spike, now start releasing tension, especially around your shoulders, neck, and jaw. Your body is literally letting go. Inside your bloodstream, inflammation levels dip as the chemicals released during emotional crying counteract the stress molecules that trigger inflammation. Even your immune system benefits. Studies show that crying activates immune-supporting pathways that help the body return to balance after emotional impact. Your brain also begins moving emotional memories from the short-term emotional centers toward the long-term processing centers. This shift helps you understand what you're feeling and why. It makes the emotional experience less overwhelming and more manageable. 5 minutes into crying, you are no longer in breakdown, you are in breakthrough. Your entire body has switched into a healing cycle designed to calm you, cleanse you, and stabilize your internal world. Many people feel exhausted during this phase, not because crying is draining, but because emotional release activates hundreds of biological processes at once. These first 5 minutes are the turning point. What started as emotional overload becomes emotional purification. Your body is not just letting tears fall, it is repairing your mind, lowering your stress, rebalancing your chemicals, and preparing you for emotional clarity. The first 30 minutes of crying, how your body resets your brain, hormones, and emotional system. As the first 30 minutes of crying unfold, your body enters a profound emotional reset cycle, one of the deepest natural healing states a human can experience without medication or intervention. By this time, the initial emotional shock is gone. The heavy waves of pain have softened, and your body is no longer fighting to stabilize itself. Instead, it has moved into repair mode. Your brain shifts its activity from the amygdala, the emotional fear center, to the prefrontal cortex, where emotional understanding and rational thought live. This is why, after half an hour, you begin to understand your feelings more clearly. Memories reorganize, thoughts sharpen, and emotional confusion starts to settle. Your nervous system has now fully transitioned into parasympathetic dominance, the state responsible for safety, calmness, and healing. Deep breathing becomes natural, not forced. Your chest tightness fades, your heartbeat steadies, and your body regains a sense of groundedness. Inside your bloodstream, cortisol levels drop dramatically. Emotional tears have been flushing out stress hormones since the beginning, but at the 30-minute mark, your endocrine system recalibrates itself entirely. Your adrenal glands reduce cortisol output, your serotonin pathways activate more smoothly, and oxytocin spreads through your bloodstream like a soft wave of comfort. This hormone creates a sense of emotional safety, one reason why crying makes you want to hug someone or curl into a comforting position. At the same time, endorphins reach their peak levels, numbing emotional and physical pain, creating that strange mixture of sadness and relief. Your brain is essentially self-medicating you through biochemistry. Your respiratory system also shifts. Those rapid sobs and shaky breaths from earlier have turned into long, slow, controlled breathing. This sends powerful signals through the vagus nerve, lowering your heart rate, reducing blood pressure, easing stomach discomfort, and relaxing your entire body. Your digestive system, which was partially shut down earlier due to stress, begins waking back up. Blood flow returns to the stomach and intestines, easing the nausea or tightness you felt earlier. Your appetite may start returning, not because the problem is gone, but because your nervous system has stepped out of crisis mode. Your muscles, especially the ones around your neck, shoulders, chest, and jaw, start relaxing after being tense for a long time. Emotional crying is physically demanding. It activates over 40 muscles. At the 30-minute mark, these muscles loosen. Your body feels heavier, and fatigue sets in. This exhaustion is not weakness. It is evidence that your body has used enormous emotional and biological energy to reset your entire system. At the same time, your immune system becomes more active. Emotional release reduces inflammation, allowing your immune cells, particularly lymphocytes, to move more efficiently through your bloodstream. Crying doesn't weaken immunity. It strengthens it by lowering the internal stress load that suppresses immune function. Your tear glands also slow down after 30 minutes, not because you're out of tears, but because your nervous system is finally returning to equilibrium. The redness around your eyes and nose begins calming as blood vessels shrink back to normal size. Your skin cools, your breathing smooths, and your thoughts become more organized. Your brain now begins the emotional integration phase. It takes the overwhelming feelings that triggered the tears and starts forming meaning out of them. Your mind becomes capable of clearer thinking, deeper reflection, and emotional understanding. This 30-minute mark is where emotional chaos transforms into emotional clarity. Your body has shed stress hormones, calmed your nervous system, reorganized your thoughts, soothed your heart, stabilized your breath, lowered inflammation, supported your immunity, activated healing chemicals, and restored internal balance. Crying has done what it is biologically designed to do: reset you. You are no longer fighting your emotions, you are recovering from them. After the tears, what happens inside your body in the minutes and hours after crying ends? When the last tear rolls down your cheek and your breathing finally slows, your body enters one of the most profound states of emotional recovery it is capable of. This period, the quiet after crying, is where the real healing begins. Your brain, having passed through the storm of emotional overload, now shifts into a state of deep neurological repair. The amygdala goes silent, its alarms cooled. The prefrontal cortex, now fully in control, begins stitching together the emotional fragments that overwhelmed you. This integration creates clarity, perspective, and emotional understanding. It's why, after crying, things that felt impossible begin to make sense, and emotions that felt too big begin to shrink into something you can hold. Inside your body, your hormonal landscape transforms. Cortisol, the stress hormone that spiked during the emotional impact, reaches its lowest levels. Oxytocin and endorphins, the healing chemicals, continue soothing your nervous system. These hormones slow your heart rate, calm your muscles, relax your breathing, and create a sense of emotional softness. Many people feel sleepy after crying, and that's because crying literally activates the same biological pathways as sedation. Your body temporarily enters a semi-restorative state similar to the beginning of sleep. The vagus nerve, still activated from deep sobbing, keeps sending safety signals to your brain, further lowering blood pressure, easing digestion, and bringing the entire body into a peaceful equilibrium. Your immune system, having worked quietly during your emotional release, now strengthens. Stress suppresses immunity, but emotional crying reduces that internal load, allowing white blood cells to function more efficiently. Inflammation markers decrease. Your breathing becomes deeper and more rhythmic, delivering more oxygen to tissues. Your muscles finish releasing tension, especially the ones around your neck, shoulders, and chest, which tighten the most during emotional stress. This is why, after crying, your body often feels loose, heavy, and relaxed. Your skin begins cooling as blood vessels return to normal, reducing redness around your nose and eyes. Tear salts evaporate, leaving your skin slightly dry, a physical reminder of emotional release. Your digestive system returns to normal function, sometimes even improving. Emotional crying temporarily resets your gut-brain axis, reducing the stress signals that disrupt digestion. Your appetite may come back in waves, not as stress, hunger, but as your body returning to balance. Your mind, however, undergoes the biggest transformation. Once the emotional noise fades, your brain enters a reflective mode that unlocks insight. Neural pathways reorganize, emotional memories settle into long-term storage, new perspectives take shape. This post-crying clarity is not imaginary, it is neurological. Your brain can now process what it couldn't handle before. This is why you often feel lighter, clearer, or more yourself after crying. It's your brain returning home. And then comes the calm, the emotional silence that follows a storm. Your body has cleansed itself chemically, neurologically, and emotionally. Your breath is steady. Your mind is lighter. Your heart is softer. Your muscles are relaxed. Your nervous system is balanced. Your immune system is stronger. Your hormones are stable. Your thoughts feel cleaner. Crying didn't break you. It reset you. It helped your brain reorganize pain. It helped your body release stress. It helped your heart find rhythm again. It helped your mind understand what it couldn't understand before. In the minutes and even hours after crying, your body quietly rebuilds you from the inside. Not weaker, not fragile, but calmer, clearer, safer, and emotionally stronger than before. Crying is not an emotional collapse. It is your body's most powerful emotional recovery system.